Dr. Sumant Mishra, welcome all of you, all our dear and respected viewers on आपका Dr. Bhaiya's Positive India show and the News Express. And we have today in our virtual studio a special guest whose biodata resume CV is so heavy it will take ages to describe. The smiling commander, Honorable respected Shri VK Jaitly Ji is with us. He was the commissioning. First of all, we all welcome our Honorable Commander Sahab. Welcome. Thank you very much for, thanks a lot. Namaskar. So, let me briefly introduce our Honorable Commander Sarji. He was the commissioning crew of INS Virat and installed the first local area network LAN of the Indian Navy and pioneered computerization way back in 1987. And he developed the first multimedia in India and made a large number of video documentaries while in the Navy. Also, our Honorable Commander Shri VK Jaitly Ji is the ex-president of IIT Kharagpur Alumni Foundation, India, that integrates KGP Kharagpur alumni across the world. He's an IIT Council nominee by HRD, Human Resource Development Ministry, on the board of governors of IIT Bhubaneswar. He's also an advisor in 3 departments at IIT Kharagpur. He has been the founder, board member of PAN IIT India. He's the national coordinator of Youth for Nations that imbibes the spirit of nation first amongst the youth. He's a motivational speaker, a consultant, a coach, an author, and a mentor for the corporate world, and an invited specialist on national TV channels. He's an ex-IITian with 40 plus years of experience in corporate, academics, and defense. So I understand we have big list for him, but we welcome him and we start with the queries. So, sir, aapka swagat hai. We all welcome you in our show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sumant, for such an great introduction, I will say. I don't know how much I deserve, but you said it beautifully. Thank you very much.
Sure, you deserve much more than this, and we fall short of words while describing yourself. Now, talking about youth involvement, youth for nations. As the youth of today, they have an important role to play in a country's progress as entrepreneurs, sports persons, politicians, or civil servants. You are associated with Youth for Nations. And basically, we want to appeal for the youth to break away from the bondage of drugs or things which limits them or destroys their destiny, cut short what God has given them, the mission or the vision. So would you like to elaborate more on the involvement of youth in the nation development, building of the nation?
Thank you, Dr. Sumant. I think we all know that India is considered to be one of the youngest nations. Our number of youth in India, if we calculate by percentage-wise, it's a huge percentage of youth in India. So, if the youth goes astray, the country will suffer. So it is very, very important that our youth remains on the track in their personal life, in their professional life, and in their public life also. Now, to achieve that, it's very important that our education system, our value system, instead of just giving the so-called domain knowledge or the competency, we inculcate character also in them, the so-called value education. Now that actually should start from school level. And I hope that our teachers are doing a reasonably good job. But when we meet students at the college level, we find there's a big gap. And we realize that a large number of organizations, they are working at the school level. But at college level and university level, we felt that there's hardly any organization which is working. So we have our, you can call it the chief national coordinator or our chief mentor, Professor G.S. Murthy ji. So he contacted me last year in the month of end September. And that was the first meeting we had. We chatted for a moment. Then he came to Delhi. We met one-to-one. And on 10th October, the Youth for Nation was born. 10th October last year, 2021. And we all had the same vision, the same philosophy, that is very, very important to connect with the college youth, the university youth. Because in colleges and the universities, their focus is only on teaching, thermodynamics, physics, chemistry, or whatever subject you call it. So we thought that the so-called, the nation first, Rashtra Sarvopari, that feeling has to come into their minds. If they start feeling for their nation, automatically, I tell you, they will go away from the drugs. They will go away from all the other ills in the society automatically. So inspire them to work for the nation. So whenever I tell these people, anywhere I speak to them, I request them, hey guys, if at any time you are on the crossroad and you feel that whether I should do this job or not do this job, just there is a very simple test. Is it good for my country? If it is good for my country, just do it. If it is not good for my country, just don't do it. I think that is the litmus test to do a particular job or not.
Excellent.
And we are trying to inculcate that feeling in their minds.
That's very nice. Nation first, and trying to inculcate those feelings in the catch them young. So coming to talk about the antagonists, the opposite side, there are some of those youth who are misguided, some radical elements creeping into the society, misguiding them. And we heard a lot of slogans like Bharat tere tukde honge, inshallah, inshallah, which literally means India will be divided into pieces, God willing, which is a shame for our youth saying like this. Afzal hum sharminda hai, tere qatil jinda hai. Afzal is the supporter of terrorists, has been already declared by the Supreme Court. And some people, some youths, misguided youths, started talking about this. And Kashmir mange azadi. Kashmir, integral part of India, very much integral part. They have divided the youth there. They have tried to create those confusions among them, misguidance and all those things. So these kind of things, and some of them talking about the chicken neck, the Siliguri corridor, also known as the chicken neck area, Siliguri in West Bengal, India. So those like Omar Khalid, Sharjil Imam, to name a few, and they are talking about cutting Indian parts or dividing India, which is a real shame. We don't advocate these theories, but we like your expert opinions because you have been involved in guiding them. So what is your say, how you guide these misguided youth, maybe under the influence of some radical elements? Over to you, sir.
Yeah. See, this war between good and evil was always there and will always be there. There will be some elements who will always try to create disturbance for our country. We have got two types of enemies. One is on the border and one is within. Tackling with the enemy at the border, let me tell you, is very, very easy. Because we can see the enemy and our army, air force and navy, they are very, very strong. They are good enough to tackle them. It could be from any country, let me tell you. And we have shown it in the Galwan to the so-called mighty country like China also. So Indian soldier is not scared of anybody. They can tackle anybody, let me tell you. Now, when it comes to the enemy sitting inside India, yes, that is very, very difficult. Why? Because he may be your next door neighbor, putting on the same t-shirt and same, jeans pant, and you don't know what he's doing exactly. So each of us have to be very, very vigilant wherever we are. We may be working in a government department or a private department. We should be vigilant about the other colleagues in our surroundings. Do we have any elements who are fishy? If there is any, let's observe their movements, where they go. And if we have serious doubts, we should inform the nearest police station that I've got doubts about so-and-so. Such people, such sleeper cells should not be allowed to flourish in our neighborhood. So that is the duty of each and every student, each and every citizen of this country. When we go to colleges, universities, we speak to the students, we find there is nothing lacking in their josh. They have got a lot of zeal and enthusiasm. They want to work for the country, irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, or whatever it is. They have that spirit for the country. But there is a small element. It could be influenced by a certain particular philosophy which wants to destroy this country. So such people, they are always in search of some depressed elements in the society, some people who need money. So based on such allurements, they get the people into their fold. And once they are trapped, it's very, very difficult for them to come out of that. So first thing is, we tell the students, do not fall into the trap of such anti-national elements. First and foremost thing is that. And if you see anybody is fishy, please inform your principal, your director, your other colleagues, or maybe even to the nearest police station also. We cannot allow things to happen what happened in GNU a few years back.
Yeah.
The type of slogan which you mentioned, Bharat Tere Tukde Honge, is just not acceptable in any university or in any college of this country.
Sure.
Now, that is the reason Youth for Nation came up, so that we also connect. And today, let me tell you, we are around 200 speakers available with us at Youth for Nation.
Excellent.
They can go to any corner of the country. In fact, I will put it this way, they are spread over the country already. Some are in Bangalore, some are in Telangana, Andhra, even Kerala, in Bengal, in J&K, wherever you say we have speakers. And of course, the biggest chunk as of today is lying in Delhi. So if required, people travel also, and they travel on their own cost. We do not ask for a single penny from the college or the university. We do expect that they will look after the hospitality at least. So that is how Youth for Nation is a group of a large number of ex-defense people, ex-IAS officers, IPS officers, people, entrepreneurs also, some academicians also, they are with us. So if you meet them, you will feel so happy that this organization is not even 1 year old, and we have been able to attract so many people who are ready to work for the nation without expecting a single penny in return. So I'm very hopeful that we shall make a difference, and these type of things, the students who go astray, that will definitely reduce to a large extent.
Excellent way of depicting, the way you depicted the selfless service towards the nation. Now we talk about the Youth for Nations. Talking about the serving our nation, the nation's security comes as prime importance. You were the commissioning crew of the INS Virat. So when we talk about the security issues, nation security, our ex-prime minister was in the INS Virat.
Yeah.
And his wife was a foreign national, and very sensitive informations were at stake. How do you see this as far as our nation security is concerned? Your take on this, please.
See, I was on board INS Virat when ex-Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi ji and his wife Sonia ji, they stayed on board. One particular admiral's room was specially converted for their stay, because on the ship there is no place to stay for the ladies. So that single bedroom was converted into a double bedroom, and then up to their status of the Prime Minister of India, accordingly, a lot of refurbishment was done. And they were on the ship for almost 24 hours, if I remember correctly. Now, let me tell you, at that time, we didn't think much. We just felt the Prime Minister of India is coming and we are just welcoming him. But now when we look back at this stage, I will say using the resources of your own country, that to Indian Navy or Indian Force or Indian Army, for your personal use is just too much. I think our resources have been misused, not once, twice, a number of times by the earlier, the so-called our leaders, I will put it, number of times. They misused it. They felt as if it is their personal property, which I think is not acceptable at all. And let me tell you,
Sure.
INS Virat being the aircraft carrier, whenever it sails, it doesn't sail alone. It goes along with 6 or 7 more ships. And we were
Yeah.
anchored off that Lakshadweep Islands maybe for around 8 to 10 days, just because they were on the island celebrating their holiday. And helicopter was flying up and down, taking their personal requirements, could be beer or could be chicken or anything, number of times, whatever they wanted. That was being supplied to them. Now, using national resources, your defense forces personnel, for such personal things, I think it has to be condemned. This should not be acceptable. And I don't think after that, this type of thing has happened again. Things have improved a lot during past few years. People have become much more professional today. And I'm very sure things will improve further in the future. But it is just not acceptable that somebody is using such resources for their personal enjoyment. Just not acceptable, according to me.
Sure. Nicely put up, nicely described. Now, coming to our final question, the culture, the tradition of Bharat, India, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Ayam Nijah, Paroveti, Gana Laguchit Sam, Udar Charitanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. For broad-hearted people, big-hearted people, Udar Charitanam tu Vasudhaiva, Vasudaev, the whole world, Kutumbakam is like a family. So this original verse from the Maha Upanishad is considered as the most important moral value in Indian society. And we think the world as a family. And also during the COVID times, you have seen we didn't only care about our own people, but also more than 150 countries throughout the world. Our honorable Prime Minister, all the scientist committee, all those Corona warriors, they all came across to help the world, pharmacy of the world. Also, the vaccinations were given more than 900 countries. And we are talking about this age-old philosophy, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We are talking about Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramya. So how is your take on this? Can you please elaborate to our viewers?
You have said beautifully that Indian philosophy embraces all. We say love all, embrace all, and hatred for none. That is what we have been taught from our childhood. And when we do puja also in the morning, we say Vishwa ka kalyan ho. Vishwa ka kalyan. We don't say ki mera kalyan ho. Ya mere parivar ka kalyan ho, mere desh ka. We say Vishwa ka kalyan ho. We talk about that. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we call it. And Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Sarve Santu Niramya. Now let me just tell you, I happen to be at, there's a institute called NITTR, National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research at Chennai. I was invited to give a talk there for a particular batch of some 30 students. Then I realized, and the management realized, that there is another group going on where there were around 110 academicians from 34 countries. So they requested me if I can give a talk to these academicians also. And then they asked me the topic also. So I chose the topic, the role of academicians for global harmony. The role of academicians for global harmony. Now, let me tell you, they were almost 110 academicians from 34 countries. Now, you can imagine all those 34 countries, they may be following which religion? Obviously not Hindu religion, because there is not even one country which follows Hindu religion officially. Though we have Hindus staying in so many countries, but technically all those countries were either the Muslim countries or the Christian countries. Israel definitely was not there, I remember. There were countries from South America, Africa, even Afghanistan, etc., were there. And I tell you, when I spoke to them for almost 1 hour, I quoted exactly these shlokas. I said, you have come to India. Please learn our philosophy. Our philosophy alone gives the solution to the whole world. Embrace all. We cannot bring harmony in this world if we keep talking, hey, my soap is the best and your soap is wrong. No.
Yeah.
My philosophy is good and I respect all the other philosophies also. If everybody, the follower of every religion in this world, start respecting the other religions also, all differences will perish. There will not be, we can break these boundaries only through this, the philosophy which India gives to the whole world. Today, we should be very happy that when India wanted that yoga be accepted by United Nations, and some, I think, 177 countries signed for it, and they are doing yoga 21st June. The whole world is almost doing yoga. So I tell people, just imagine if these terrorists also start doing yoga, they will no more be terrorists, I tell you. Because yoga unites you with that eternal power. And yoga believes that what is in me, the same is in you also. The moment I see the same God in you also and me also, there's no question of killing the other person. Just based on that wrong philosophy that if you do not follow my path, I'll really kill you. No, sorry, wrong man. Wrong. It's the same whether you call him Allah, Khuda, God, Bhagwan Krishna, Bhagwan Ram, Shiva, or Christ, whatever you call him, is your choice. But remember, the same superpower has made all the human beings on this earth. In fact, I go one step further, all the animals also have been made by the same power.
Sure.
So being a vegetarian, I say, why do you kill these animals also? And sometimes I go a little bit philosophical. I just say, just imagine if all these animals, birds and all that, they were also able to speak and they also were able to have voting rights. Suppose, just imagine for a moment, would you have been able to kill them? You wouldn't have been able to kill them. They would have formed the government in any country or in the world. Just think momentarily. This world belongs to them equally as it belongs to us. Because the same God has created them. So why do we eat them? But anyway, I do not talk too much about vegetarianism because there are so many non-vegetarians also. Perfectly fine. Let them enjoy whatever they are doing it. I don't focus on that much. My focus today is at least bring harmony among the human beings, at least. Among the human beings. That's my focus.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the nice, enlightening lecture you gave on to all our viewers here. So must have been enlightened, and we really appreciate your special time you are devoting to for our viewers' enlightenment. So, before we go, final message, short message to our viewers, please.
My final message is that each one of us should try to become a good human being. Only a good human being can become a good teacher. A good human being can become a good doctor or a good engineer or a good in any field, only if you are a good human being. If you are not a good human being, you can't do any profession. So just strive to become a good human being and be of some use to this whole humanity. That's what I try. So that is my last message.
Thank you very much. Be a good human being and be of use for the whole world. This is our respected Honorable Commander Sahab, Shri VK Jaitly Ji, signing off. Thank you very much, Commander Sahab, for your crucial time and spending quality times with our viewers and enlightening them. Thank you. We will be in touch with you with some more queries next time. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Dhanyawad.
Thank you.